And good evening, Sword family. And welcome to the holiday edition of the Teahouse. Now, as it is the holiday season, and most of you probably have at least one person in your life that is a martial artist, swordsman, enthusiast, etc. I decided that today would be a good opportunity to show you some ideas for things that you could get for said martial artist. I'm trying a new browser tonight, so we're going to see if we get that whole annoying buffering garbage again. And if not, this might be my dedicated streaming browser. Thank you to our own giant werewolf with a longsword, Rich Asplin, for introducing me to said browser. Already discussed that with him a little bit tonight. But, as always, before we get into anything, we have comments. And first through the door, an hour before the stream even started, is the amazing Dan Hollifield. Good evening. Good evening, Dan. And 20 minutes later is my lovely Foxy. Greeting, Dan. Only half hour to go, so yeah, that was about 33 minutes ago. And Aunt Donna joins us. Hey, Foxy and Dan, are we going to fill the chat? Didn't fill it too much, but, it's all right. I appreciate it. Dan has got to go see if Life on Korra number 7 was delivered. I have my my digital copy. I've had it for a little while now. Donna can't wait to get hers. And Kitty is joining us. Hi there, folks. Hello, Kitty. Dan says it hasn't unless it's in the mailbox. Didn't have my flashlight or outdoor shoes on, so I didn't go check. Probably a good idea. Don't want to go out in the dark without a flashlight, at least. And Donna greeting Kitty. Dan says Lindsay will check the mailbox when she gets back from the church meetup at one of her friends' houses. No SOC tonight. Joe Dog is still sick, so I scheduled LMS for 10 p.m. Eastern. I will try to make this one. We'll see. Donna says, "Okies." Almost time. Don't forget to like and share. Yes, please. I very much appreciate the people that actually do like and share and show me that I actually, want to see the things that I'm talking about and sharing after over a year now. And Carl is joining us. Hello, everyone. Hello, Carl. Donna greeting the Witzman dude, and Foxy greeting Carl. And Sarah is joining us. Evening. Good evening, Sarah. Good to see you again. And Donna greeting Sarah, and Foxy greeting Sarah. Foxy says, "Key 9." And Carl greeting Inigo, yes. And Sarah is laughing. K9 with many eyes. Sometimes. Laid his chin on the keyboard, of course. Donna greets Inigo. Funny what he managed to type. He's learning. As Foxy says, he's learning. So, gifts for the martial artist in your life. First thing is probably training swords. We will appreciate any kind of sword, including live steel, if you have that kind of budget. But if you don't, these work. I've had this one for a while. This is my my Green Destiny trainer. The only thing I don't like about this thing is if you're actually using it to spar, the guard comes off. Just with that little flick of my thumb, the guard will come loose. And on more than one occasion, using this sword for sparring, I have launched the guard across the field because it's not secured in any way. The pommel also comes off, but that's a little more solid. Yes, I took a Sharpie to it. I was bored. Shut up. You can tell which side usually sits against my palm and which side is usually on the finger. And then we have this one, which I love. This is my Hanjian trainer with the scabbard. So you can train from the draw. I did a review of this earlier this summer, I think. It's a really good trainer. It was a Father's Day present from Foxy and Kitty. I have my issues with it. The actual suspension system isn't there. That is mostly just decoration. This little thing here should be here on most Hanjian, and it is a little stiff in the scabbard, but it definitely does its job. Launch the guard at your opponent, then go for the jab. You're not entirely wrong. Distraction, yes. Feature, not a bug. They also use throwing. Throwing stars are more Japanese, but we can go into things like that. That's definitely an option. Throwing knives, throwing hatchets. I have tiny little. This is my letter opener. It is a mini guandao. I have my mini spear. Nice little tassel on there. I also use this for opening letters. And a while back, I talked about my favorite Chinese drama of all time, The Untamed, which I am currently rewatching for the 5th or 6th time in a row. I do it every December. This Also useful as a letter opener, but it is the sword of one of the main characters named Wei Wuxian. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but right there, come on, focus, is the actual name of the sword on the scabbard, just like it is in the series. So little things like this, always cool. If you can get a small replica of their specific sword of choice, or weapon of choice, to be more precise, that would be very, very much appreciated. Throwing knives are good. Anything that you can fidget with your hands with. My little Ume piercer trainers. Something to keep your hands busy. Because I can't speak for everyone, but at least for me, I always want to be doing something with my hands. I don't know if it's a martial artist thing or possibly a neurodivergent thing, but fidget spinners, knives that have ring pommels that you can spin in your hand, butterfly knives, things like that are, they're definitely weapons. So if they are a martial artist of any stripe, any kind of weapon, excuse me, would be greatly appreciated. And Sarah says hi back to those of you who greeted me, and hi to those of you who may not have. And Foxy is munching on pistachios. I can hear her in the back room. If your particular martial artist is into one specific style or master, you can go out and get training videos about that style. You can go and find You can go and find facsimiles of training manuals of that master. For me, any book or any DVD from Dr. Yang Jwing-Ming is going to be amazing. I have I have like 2 or 3 of his books. I don't have any DVDs yet. I hope to get some eventually at some point. But books or DVDs are always welcome gifts. This website right here is ChineseLongsword.com. It is run by a man named Jack Chen. And he has gone and found several old Chinese manuals, and he photocopied them directly from the old manual, and he bound them in the old Chinese style. I have a couple of them. Here you can get the Jian book. Long saber. World War II sword. The Shaolin staff, I think, was the first one that I got. If they are into the Jianjing here, I got this for Christmas a couple of years ago. It was written by Yu Dayou, who was a Ming Dynasty general. He wrote an entire book called The Compilation of Vital Energy. And the Jianjing is just one section of that book. And it's just all about the Jian. I absolutely love that book. There's a spear book. There's a Guandao book. There's an Ame spear book. Halberd book. A long whip. Essentials of the fist. Here's something that you probably won't find a lot of. But Qi Jiguang wrote a book, and in that book, he created an army formation that was used by Qi Jiguang and his army against the Japanese invasions. And it is a shield book. You will not find a whole lot of Chinese treatises dealing with using a shield. I haven't run across very many. I'm sure there are some out there, obviously. But this is one of the very few that I've run across. Here's a long spear, a two-handed dao. This is a Korean sword book. I have this one. It is a reproduction of a Japanese guide to putting on armor. That one's really entertaining. Military formations for study. 200 diagrams of weapons. That's all of the books just from this one site. Any of these books, even if that particular person is not into that specific book or weapon, just having a reproduction of an old manual, if they're actually studying history, which if you're a martial artist, you should also be studying history. If you're not, you're doing it wrong. Just my opinion. But if you didn't want to hear my opinion, you wouldn't be here. So yeah, any of the books from this website, great gift ideas. Like I said, I have this one. This one is a more modern book with what I'll call Western binding. And I have this one. And I have this one. And this one. If we can... I don't think we can. We'll just look at this one for a quick second. It is a direct reproduction. It's just a direct scan of the original page. So it's showing you the sword stance, and then up here is the description of that stance. They have a lot of that also in the Jianjing. And the staff manual. You can see it here in the spear as well. If you can, even if you cannot read Chinese, which I can't read a lot, but they're just cool things to have. You know, it would be like someone into HEMA getting the Italian of Fiore's book. Can't understand or read Italian, but just having the book would be exceptionally cool thing to have. So that's just, you know, anything like this, especially these older ones up here, they're all bound in a traditional Chinese style. So they're going to be read backwards from the way that we read books. That was harder to say than I thought it was going to be. If you're reading books over here in this country, I'll just grab one. Here's my pocket Tao Te Ching. This is another great idea because also, again, if you're a martial artist and you're not studying philosophy, you're doing it wrong again. So if you can get the Tao Te Ching, the Analects of Confucius, anything like that. But books in this country are read from left to right. Yes? Your front cover is on the left side, back cover is on the right side. The binding is here. In the Asian style of book, it's reversed. So the binding would be on this side. This would be the front cover, and this would be the back cover. So it's actually read from right to left. So that's also the way that I bind my journals. I have one right here. This is like journal number 1. This is the first one I ever made. I basically made it for myself because I was testing to see how well it works. So this is the very first journal I ever made. Obviously, the binding is far too much inside. But as you can see, binding is here, front cover is here, back cover is here. So it's read from right to left. And this is what the books, most of the books from that website are going to look like. They're going to be read from right to left. They're going to be blue covers on both sides and read right to left with white binding. Now, Dan says, I wonder how many cultures have slings in common. Accelerating rock with a force multiplier strap seems to me like an obvious idea. Yes, it is. Very much like spears. You know, you take a stick, you sharpen one end, you have a spear. Slings are a very similar idea. You get, you know, you're throwing a rock at someone and they're farther away than you can hit. So you develop a way to hit them beyond your range of throwing. It's like that meme that you see go around fairly frequently about the invention of archery being like, I want to stab that guy, but he's way over there. Sarah says, I bet that's entertaining to see how to put on the armor. It really is. But, you know, the captions are all in Japanese. So it's basically a picture book for me because I can't read Japanese, but it was just a really cool thing to have. I can't read it, but it's an awesome thing to just have as part of my library. That's cool. Puppers, yes. Time to play. It's been time to play since we got back from the little Christmas craft show thing that we went to. Sarah says, extra treat from me, but with the acronym NILIF, nothing in life is free. Have him obey a command per said treat, and then lots and lots. We do that quite frequently. We've been doing that since we got him. We almost have him. He had sit like right away. I'm pretty sure they taught him sit like at the shelter because he had that one right away. We almost have him getting that he will lay down when we tell him and jump up only when we tell him. So we've definitely been training him for a while. Interesting how I was trying to read backwards at the very beginning of reading anything. Yeah. Backwards and up and down. Yes. So Western books are read left to right and then up to down. So if you're reading a book over here, you start at the left top corner, read to the right to the end of the sentence, then go down. Reading in Asian, you're going to start the top. The top right corner, and you're going to go from top to bottom first, and then to the next line, and down, and next line, and down. So yes. Not tug, time for fetch. So you're going to hear him running up and down the hallway for the next half hour. Has anyone ever noticed that anyone reading a magazine in movies or TVs reads it backwards? I don't think I have, but now I'm going to have to pay attention to that. Treat and command earn for treat. I'm stubborn and crave a doggo. I might do a GoFundMe for a gerbil or hamster. The desperation is so real for a fur baby. Maybe not. No. It really is. Trying to think of that, Donna. Good point. Same as other brother from another mother again. We find lots and lots of things in common with people. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, you know? And we're halfway through and internet is holding. So I'm happy with this browser. So we have books. We have training DVDs. Tiny little, tiny little weapons. Training weapons. Hey, there's Rich. Yes. Glad that opera is working better for you. It seems to be. It seems to be holding. I keep seeing up in the upper corner right there telling me that my connection is unstable, but it's not disconnecting. So it's definitely working. Nurses I work with ruin shows for me by talking about how the x-rays are upside down or backwards. I try really, really hard when I'm watching shows that have aspects in them of things that I am interested in or knowledgeable of, not to ruin them for other people that enjoy them. But please, for the love of God, if you're doing a movie or you're doing a TV show, please don't do the whole pouring hot metal into a snow form to make a sword. Can we not do that anymore, please? Just for me. Can we stop this? Thank you. Not a bad thing at all. There's a reason he's still a brother. Yeah. And Donna greeting Rich. And Carl greeting Rich. And Foxy greeting Rich. And everything comes out of a coma looking perfect, with the exception of that one Steven Seagal movie where he gets shot and then ends up in a coma for however long it is, and he wakes up and his hair is all long and he's got a big long bushy beard that he didn't have when he went in the coma, and he couldn't walk. That was a pretty good depiction. I mean, it's obviously not perfect, but it was a better depiction of a lot of comas that I've seen. And there's another gift idea. DVDs do not just have to be for training. They can also be for entertainment purposes. You get movies, especially if you can find, movies from the company Dragon Dynasty. I don't think they're around anymore, but for a while, in the early 2000s, maybe, it was an American company that went back and found decent copies of Chinese movies in the original language and updated them. I have several of them right there on the top shelf of my DVD rack. Are a lot of Dragon Dynasty movies. Incoming. Yeah, I see that. Rich says, oh, good. I thought you meant putting someone in a coma as a gift. Well, you know, if they want to be asleep for a little while, yeah. Woman in a coma with perfect hair and makeup. Screw that. I don't even look like that throughout the time I'm awake. Foxy says, me either. Carl was going to ask about movies, and I know it's not weapons, but music. Music is good. Because once again, if you're a martial artist of any stripe, you have an internal soundtrack. Yeah, exactly. Foxy said it right here. I often train to music. And I will switch the music up depending on what I want to do that day. I did a stream last year. I should probably revisit some of these old topics for the people who weren't watching back then. I did a stream last year called Heavy Metal Tai Chi. And I talked about how Tai Chi naturally is a soft, fluid, slow movement. You're very fluid, very slow. So what I will do sometimes is I will put on something heavy and hard to trick my brain. Now, what do I mean by that? I can't speak for everyone, obviously. But for me, when I'm listening to metal, I want to move fast. You know, when I used to have a heavy bag, which I don't have anymore, I still have the speed bag. When I used to have a heavy bag, I would play metal and I would hit the heavy bag, and the harder the music was hitting, the harder I was hitting the bag. So most of the time, when you see someone doing Tai Chi, the music matches. The music will be soft and fluid and flowing. Try to imagine doing a Tai Chi form and the music in the background is heavy metal. The reason I do that is because I have to trick my brain to continue to move slowly and softly. So I have to really, really focus on what I'm doing. That way, if I'm in a situation, like I have been, where I need to use some of those skills to fight, and there's lots of distractions going around, there's loud, heavy music, there's people talking, I can still do it because my body still knows how to do it. So music, absolutely. One of these days, I am going to, probably in a pre-recorded video, I'm going to do reviews of some of the Asian music that I own. I know I talked about this a couple of months ago, trying introducing people to some new Asian music. I have several albums that I think the people who are watching right now would really, really enjoy getting just straight reviews of that album. So, music, absolutely, is a good gift idea. You can go for these soft, singing bowls. I'll talk about that one in a second because that's a different idea. But the kind of soft instrumental music that you usually see associated with Asian martial arts, you can find stuff like that. Yeah, he was doing a little yawn. That was his pay attention to me whining yawn, yeah. My doggo did that too. Her yawns were very vocal. He talks quite a bit. Potty whine, asking if he has to go potty and how does he give a confirmation. Seriously trying to listen. It's all right. Isn't there Gong Fu, or did I misspell that? No, that's actually the correct spelling. The only thing you missed is the little accents above the letters. Gong Fu is not in and of itself a martial art. Again, go back some of my past videos. I did a full-on video about this, but Gong Fu just means to have great skill. So authors have Gong Fu. It doesn't have to be just fighting. As long as you're skilled in what you do, you have Gong Fu. The reason that you usually see it spelled Kungfu is because it's phonetic. That's how people read it will be able to say it right. does that too. It's a different sound. Singing bowls are gorgeous. I have one. I should have grabbed it. It's back there on my Buddhist altar. I have a singing bowl. That is another great idea because, once again, you're doing martial arts and you're not studying meditation, even if you're doing Western martial arts and you're not studying meditation, you're doing it wrong. Because meditation, and Carl should agree with this, meditation helps you to stay level. So if you're in a situation, sparring, whatever, and you're getting frustrated, you need to be able to have that mental switch that you can just stop and relax. Exactly. Thank you. And stay focused. So, he wants his dinner. I'm sure he does. So, singing bowls, rain sticks, wind chimes, anything that you can use as a focus for meditation, absolutely amazing gift ideas. Sarah says, I love how it can look like a dance. Fighting is a dance. It absolutely is a dance. It might not be as pretty in some aspects, but fighting is absolutely a dance. I have told several different people that if you can fight, you can dance. It's true. And if you, or no, I tell people if you can dance, you can fight. And it goes either way. If you can fight, you can dance. Yeah, see, right there. Tells me that all the time. Yeah. Rain sticks are great, and for wind chimes, I hung some up in my backseat door hanger meant for clothes and then cracked the windows. I have again, in my corner back there with my Buddhist altar, I have a pair of bamboo wind chimes, and we have 2 pair back in the bedroom. Used to be able to slow my heart rate and change my blood pressure at will. Fun with there we go. Now it's starting to go down again. Come on now, behave yourself. Yeah, see, Foxy has a set of wind chimes behind her. You can do that too. Most gorgeous door I've ever seen was either in Jamaica or Mexico, like a hardwood door, but it was bamboo. Internet behaved for a long time. It was 45 minutes. And I think the problem is my heater kicked on. It really did. And I think, like I said, I think the heater kicked on. I think that threw things off a little bit. So, yeah, 45 minutes already. I know. Not StreamYard this time, or internet this time. Oh, really? Did the internet go down? Well, I was not aware of that. any good martial artist, especially Asian martial artists, teacups. Especially if they're mostly traditional. You have the lid there. This is not traditional. This is meant for, holding on onto the teacup. Oh, we can fight if we want to. I can leave your friends behind. And that's as far as I'm going to go because I don't want to get copyright struck. But yes, we're going to have to get together sometime this week, Rich, because tea time next week. We have to, get everything all worked out beforehand. Oh, no, babe. When it goes down here, it affects everything. It happens, or it happened before to me too. When it goes down in StreamYard, it affects the whole system. So it probably is StreamYard. Yes, I'm fidgeting with things. Like I said, I always have to be doing something with my hands. Yes. All sorticated. The wind possibly a factor. I don't know. It's been kind of odd because, before this, I started using incognito browsers, and I'd still get the notification up in the top corner saying the connection is unstable, but it wouldn't completely disconnect. So, I don't know. Not windy today, at least not right now. Always had to be doing something with my hands when I sit. Though thinking about it technically would be sorticated. The Sorticated Podcast, brought to you by IndieCD.org. Interesting, yeah. And to go along with the teacups, we have, right behind me, 1, 2, and 3 tea pets. These were an early Christmas present from our very own Joe and Trelena Bachman. And that's not the only thing. But these go along with a tea set. Little bunny rabbit. They're ceramic, I think. We got a bunny. And we have a deer. And we have, if I can get this one out, this is a flat little ox. But that was only the first part of the gift. Cool from Joe and Trey. Oh, you have no idea. So we got 10 minutes left to go. We've gone over books. We've gone over training weapons, music, singing bowls, trinkets. Monday evening, I get a message on Facebook from Joe telling me that there was a package that was delivered for me. I'm like, today. So I went to the front door, and there's a box sitting on my, my front porch. And I look at the label, and it is from Jesse's Teahouse. Now, for the people who don't know, that is a website where you can get a lot of really, really nice Chinese tea. Oh, lanterns? Lanterns, yes, Sarah. Decorative things, like that guy right there. Lanterns, decorations. I have a big, gigantic fan on that wall right there. See if I can actually. I'm going to try and move the camera. So, if you get motion sick, chill out for a second. Right there. That takes up more than my entire wall. That was one of the first things that I got for Foxy for her birthday when we first moved into this apartment. Dragons. Again, there's one right there, right by the camera. There's a tiger right here. Yeah, it really is. It's a beautiful fan. I love it. There's a bagua mirror above my front door. Little decorative things like that, always, always appreciated. But Jesse's Teahouse. And my first reaction, just seeing that label, is, Joseph, what did you do? Because the stuff here is not cheap. These are, I think these are tea oranges, where they take an orange, they hollow it out, and they put tea in it. Stuff here is not cheap. Gong Fu sampler, $40. Taiwanese oolong sampler, $50. $68 sampler. I'm like, what did you do? Sounds yummy. I plan on getting some tea, but I tore the box open. I didn't know if I was supposed to wait for actual Christmas. Tea inside an orange. I think that's what it is. Does it impart an orange flavor? Yes, it does. It does. So I opened the box, and inside was the 3 tea pets and this lovely little carrying case. Donna, you remember a few months ago when you said you wanted to see a video of me doing a full tea ceremony? Well, now I can. Because I have a tea tray with a nice little pair of tongs there for loose leaf tea. Yeah. I bet you'd be happy to see that. You think there was a squee? Oh, my goodness, my friend. I literally, you can ask Foxy, this is true, I started to cry when I opened this box. Because other than one other person and her and Kitty, this is the best gift I've ever gotten from anyone. Ever. Some serious love. Oh, yeah. Yeah, wow is right. Nice, Joe and Trey. I kind of wish they'd be here so that they could actually see me visibly squeeing over how awesome this thing is, because you take the bottom of the tray out. See, it's kind of hollow. So the bamboo sits on top of this. And the inside looks like this. We have a cleaning sponge for cleaning out your teapot. Got the little business card right there. It's got a QR code on the back. Yeah. Got very emotional. That's an understatement. We have a pump for pumping out the tea from the tray when you're done. We have a tea towel. Character for tea, and the word cha with the accent is a tea towel. Now the actual set looks like this. We have 4 small teacups. They're really, I think they're cute as shit, but I mean, look at that. That is adorable. And then we have this lovely little thing. Now, what is this? This is what is called a floating teapot. Got a nice little wooden handle here, screws on. And then we have the actual, you can see it's got a little sieve there. That sits, I don't know if I can, you can see this, but right on the end there is a little lip. See that? Right there. Inside here, there we go. Got a little hook. You set this piece in there like that. It's got a lid to it. So the whole thing, now look at this. The inside, no matter how far I turn this, the tea itself is not going to spill. The teapot itself floats on the inside. How cool is this thing? Come on now. So, in the coming weeks or possibly months, I need to get me some loose leaf tea, because this, you cannot use tea bags with this. I mean, you could, but it's not as much fun. So, a gift like this for a martial artist, especially a martial artist like me, they're going to get misty-eyed. They're going to get emotional, as Foxy put it. Now, the other thing in here, this is all very, very stiff because it's very, very well packaged. It's a nice little glass. You brew your tea, pour it into here, pour it from here into your teacups. So sometime after I get me some loose leaf tea, I will be doing a full tea ceremony on stream. Maybe live, maybe pre-recorded, we'll see. But a gift like this, that will blow someone's mind. That's what my bro would have done. Cried, never ashamed of emotions. I knew you squeed. Yeah. Love the love. It was like the rest of Monday night. I was like, just randomly, I'd start crying just over how awesome it was. Yeah, all of this was in one box. Amazing is an understatement. You're not, you have no idea. Beautiful. It really is. And it's so well packaged. Like the biggest issue I have with it right now is it's sat right on the corner of my couch since the night I got it because I have nowhere to put anything right now. I want to get like I have a small table in my kitchen in there that has all of our like cereal and stuff on it. I want to get another one that I can put this lovely thing on and all of my different teas on top of it. So I can have, and my little teacup up there. Just amazing. Thank you, Trey and Joe. Yes, if you see them before I do, make sure that you tell them thank you, because of them, you're going to get your tea ceremony. The more that was seen, the more emotions there were. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. What with the floating teapot? I need to find this when I'm getting more than 8 hours of work. Yeah. We can bring this back up. I think go up here and here. It's not this one because that's just plain white and it doesn't have the floating teapot. Those are tea tables. Those are just beautiful. There it is right there. That's the set right there, Sarah. You can see everything, the tray, the bigger cup, the small teacups, the floating teapot, right there. It is, wow, yeah. Have a very limited amount of loose leaf tea we can test it with. I want to get something fresh. I know the tea doesn't go bad, but that tea has been in there for a while, and I want something really, really fresh so that I can enjoy it for the first time. But yeah, so we are definitely over the hour. I witnessed an idea of having no idea. Eyes are open wide. I'm sure they are. Also don't like the flavors I do typically. This is true. When it comes to tea between me and Foxy, she likes the more floral ones, and I usually like the fruit. Like the tea oranges would be just awesome. Get and dry your own herbs. It's possible. It's possible. Good show. Thank you, Carl. Depending on what he wants, I could try and grow some. Great ending surprise. Yeah, you're telling me. I've been holding on to this thing since Monday. I've tried several times to put pictures up on Facebook, and I keep getting error messages. It's kind of been pissing me off a little bit because I just want to share the love, because that was a great present. Like I said, one other person besides obviously Foxy and Kitty. And that was years ago when someone that was overseas in Iraq sent me several. And I'm talking like 4 or 5 boxes got delivered from UPS at my parents' house. And I opened the boxes, and inside was a $1,000 wooden man. Now, I'm going to see. For the people who don't know, if I can find a picture. I know I can find a picture. I just need to find, there we go. There we go. Now we can share this with the group. Bam. Right there. I had to put it together. This main trunk was in one box. And these side limbs were in one box. These side limbs were in one box. The top limbs were in one box. The bottom limbs were in one box. And the 4 different arms and legs were in a separate box. I had to put it together. And I don't know if you can see this, but the price is $1,499.99. Yeah. Just make sure if you grow something to make sure the doggo can't get into the plants. It's so much easier to dog-proof than cat-proof since cats jump and defy gravity. Yeah. Tend not to grow things that bother the critters. This is true. This is also true. We used to put holiday lights on the wooden man as a Christmas tree. Yeah, Judas Priest is right. That was the other time that someone gave me an amazing gift. $1,000 easily. And he didn't tell me. At least Joe let me know, hey, there's a package waiting on the front porch for you. This person, minding my own business, and I hear a UPS truck back into my parents' driveway and start just offloading these giant boxes into the driveway, and then they just drove off. I'm sitting there going, what the hell is this? I'm thinking they delivered to the wrong house. I'm checking the boxes, and every single box has the same address. And I'm like, okay. But there you go. Would be confusing as hell. You're telling me. All right. So there you go. Some ideas if you have a martial artist in your life. Books, training movies, entertainment movies, music, trinkets, decorations, training swords, tea. There you go. Next week, great show. Thank you, Sarah. Will be the final edition of Tea Time for this year. My guest will be, as I said, our very own Richie. We're going to talk longsword. We're going to talk mire. It's going to be a good time. Just need to, get together sometime. Make sure that you're awake for the show. Don't pass out in the middle of the afternoon and miss the show. That'd be kind of disappointing. But that'll be next week. I have an idea for a show possibility on the 21st. I don't know if I'm going to do it. We'll see. I might possibly take the last Saturday of the year off. I don't know yet. We'll see. If I don't, if you guys have anything that you want to see me do, let me know. And I'll see if I can figure out a way to throw it up there. So hard to shop for someone who's been in the path at least 20 years, but I'm not sure if I've ever seen him have a floating pot. We were roomies, man. Those were good times. See, there you go. Good times with you too. And I've enjoyed having you, Sarah. It's been really awesome. I've really appreciated you showing up. So that is all for tonight. I'm going to go get me some dinner and then probably spend the next hour getting, eating that food and then getting ready to be on Last Man Standing. So Donna says good night. So that means everyone has to go to bed. Empress has spoken. Everyone go to sleep. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for Joe and Trey for the amazing tea set that I will be doing a tea ceremony on. Yep, she's having sweet and sour. I'm having generals. I will see everyone next week. If not before then, 再见。